Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because here we uncover the hidden stories behind old coins that many people ignore. If you have old coins sitting in a drawer, a collection passed down from your parents, or forgotten money stored away for years, you never know what treasure might be hiding among them. Today, we are looking at a fascinating coin from South Africa, the 1974 10 cents. A small piece of metal that carries decades of history and a story that every collector should know. Imagine holding a coin that was produced more than 50 years ago. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary piece of change, something that was once used for small purchases. But for collectors, every mark, every design detail, every year, and every minting feature can completely change the importance of a coin. The 1974 South African 10 cents coin belongs to an interesting period in South African coin history. During this time, coins were not only used as everyday currency, but they also represented the economy, culture, and identity of the country. Many of these coins were used for years, exchanged through countless hands, and eventually disappeared into collections, boxes, and family memories. The design of this coin is one of the reasons collectors find it interesting. Like many South African coins from that era, it features national symbols that connect it to the history of the country. The details on both sides of the coin tell a story about craftsmanship and the time when it was created. But here is where coin collecting becomes exciting. Two coins with the same year and denomination can have completely different values. One may only be worth a small amount, while another with rare characteristics, exceptional condition, unusual errors, or special collector demand could become much more valuable. Many people make the mistake of looking only at the date on a coin. They see 1974 and assume they already know everything about it. Experienced collectors know that the real secrets are often hidden in the details. The condition of the coin, the sharpness of the design, the amount of wear, the original shine, and any unusual features can make a huge difference. A coin that has been carefully preserved for decades can attract serious attention from collectors. Coins that survived in excellent condition are much harder to find because most coins from this period were handled, damaged, or circulated for many years. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest questions collectors always ask. Could a 1974 South African 10 cents coin really be worth millions? You may have heard claims online about rare coins reaching unbelievable prices, including numbers like $2.9 million. These stories create excitement because they make people wonder if an old coin in their home could change their life. However, extremely high prices are usually connected to very rare coins with verified history, unique mistakes, exceptional rarity, or special circumstances. For a 1974 South African 10 cents coin, the real value depends on the exact example. A normal circulated coin may have a modest collector value, while a rare version with special characteristics could attract much more interest. The most important step is always professional examination and authentication before believing any price claim. Collectors around the world know that the true beauty of coins is not only the money. It is the connection to history. A small coin can travel through generations, survive decades of change, and become a reminder of another time. Think about where this coin may have been. Perhaps it was once kept in a wallet, placed in a collection, saved by a child, or stored away by someone who understood its importance. Every old coin has a journey, and that journey is what makes collecting so fascinating. If you own a 1974 South African 10 cents coin, do not clean it with chemicals or polish it aggressively. Cleaning can remove original surfaces and sometimes reduce collector interest. Keep it safe, handle it carefully, and compare it with trusted collector information before making any decisions. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Coins that seem ordinary can sometimes become valuable because of rarity, condition, and history. That is why collectors always look closely before deciding what a coin is really worth. So, the next time you find an old coin in a drawer, remember that it is not just a piece of metal. It could be a piece of history waiting to be discovered. And now, the moment many viewers have been waiting for, the value discussion. While some internet claims mention a possible $2.9 million value for rare coins, a standard 1974 South African 10 cents coin does not automatically have that price. The true value depends on rarity, condition, errors, and expert verification. A genuine $1 million coin would need extraordinary qualities and confirmed collector demand.
Hey there, before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss any of the fascinating stories we uncover about rare coins and treasures that could be hiding in your own collection. Now, let me take you back to a time when the world was a very different place. The year is 1975. Picture yourself walking the streets of South Africa, the air full of the sounds of life, children playing, vendors calling out their goods, and every pocket carrying coins that were far more than just currency. They were little pieces of history. Among them, a coin that many might overlook today, yet one that carries a story waiting to be told. The 10-cent coin from 1975. At first glance, it may seem like just another small coin, easy to slip into your pocket, something you might not even give a second thought to. But here's where it gets interesting. Coins, especially those minted decades ago, are a window into history, and this 10-cent coin is no exception. Every detail on it tells a story: the design, the texture, the year stamped on its face. It's not just a coin, it's a tangible piece of South African heritage. Back in 1975, South Africa was navigating a complex period in its history, and every coin reflected not just economic value, but a cultural snapshot of the nation. The 10-cent coin of that year was made from durable metals designed to last, but time and circulation often wear down even the sturdiest coins. That's why collectors today are on the lookout for coins in excellent condition. Coins that have survived decades of use without losing their detail can command significant attention. Now, here's a fascinating part that many people don't realize. The value of a coin isn't determined just by the metal it's made from or even how old it is. It's about rarity, condition, and demand. The 10-cent coin from 1975 was minted in large numbers, yes, but not all coins survived the decades in pristine shape. Those that did, especially those with sharp details and no signs of wear, are like gold to collectors. And here's where your curiosity should really start to spark. Because when you hold a coin like this in your hand, you're holding something that has traveled through time, untouched, rare, and waiting to be discovered. Imagine sitting at your kitchen table, a cup of coffee steaming beside you, and slowly examining the coin under a magnifying glass. The edges crisp, the markings clear, the year 1975 standing proud. You can almost hear the stories of the people who used it before you, the transactions it witnessed, the hands it passed through. That's the magic of coins. They are history you can touch. Collectors love to hunt for coins like this because they are not just investing in metal, they are investing in history. Every coin has a story, and some stories carry immense value. Now, I know what you're thinking: it's just 10 cents. Surely it's not worth much. And that's where the twist comes in. Because even coins that seem humble can be incredibly valuable if they've survived in remarkable condition. And here's a little secret for those of you who've been collecting for years, or are just starting out. South African coins from the 1970s are gaining attention from collectors around the world. The market for rare coins isn't just about nostalgia, it's about understanding scarcity, condition, and historical significance. Coins that were once everyday objects are now sought-after treasures. And the 10-cent 1975 coin is a perfect example of this phenomenon. Think about it this way: when you find a coin like this in your collection, or even if someone passes one along to you, it's not just a fun conversation piece. It's potentially a game changer. It's like finding a hidden gem that could dramatically shift the value of your collection overnight. That's why people are so excited about coins from this era. They are tangible, collectible, and in some cases, surprisingly valuable. Now, let's talk specifics. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. Coins with wear, scratches, or discoloration are less likely to fetch high prices. But a coin that has retained its original luster, with sharp, clean lines, crisp lettering, and no marks from circulation, suddenly becomes much more than pocket change. It becomes a prized collectible. And the 10-cent coin from 1975. Some specimens have survived in astonishingly fine condition, essentially frozen in time, since they were minted nearly 50 years ago. Collectors often refer to coins like this as key dates in a series, coins that define the era and represent a peak of desirability. And the best part is, there's a growing global market for these coins. Enthusiasts from Europe, North America, and Asia are increasingly looking for pieces from South Africa. That means coins that were once ordinary are now highly sought after by people willing to pay handsomely for them. Imagine someone who's spent a lifetime collecting coins, carefully examining each one for rarity, provenance, and condition. For them, discovering a 10-cent 1975 coin in top condition is akin to finding a diamond in the rough. The historical importance, the connection to the past, and the scarcity all combine to make it incredibly valuable. And here's the kicker: the right coin, in the right hands, can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Yes, I said tens of thousands. And I'm about to reveal the estimated value that has been turning heads among collectors. After decades, some of these 10-cent 1975 coins, especially those in mint or near mint condition, are being valued at up to $25,000. That's right. A coin that once spent its life in everyday transactions, tucked into pockets or coin purses, can now command a price that would make even seasoned collectors take notice. So, if you happen to own one of these coins, or come across one at a flea market, a garage sale, or in a family collection, don't dismiss it as mere change. This little coin has the potential to be a major treasure, connecting you to history and possibly even giving your collection, or your wallet, a remarkable boost, and that's the beauty of coin collecting. What starts as a simple hobby, examining the designs and history, can lead to discoveries that are truly life-changing. A coin is not just metal, it's a story, a legacy, and sometimes, a hidden fortune waiting for the right person to recognize it. So remember, next time you come across an old coin, especially one from decades ago like the 10-cent 1975 from South Africa, take a moment to look closely, appreciate its history, and think about the story it tells. You never know, you might be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined. And if you've enjoyed this journey into history, make sure you subscribe for more stories about coins, treasures, and the fascinating surprises hidden in the small details of everyday life. Because the past has a way of revealing riches when you least expect it.
Imagine holding in your hand a coin so ordinary in appearance, yet whispered about in collector circles as something extraordinary. A coin that, once dismissed as spare change, now carries the weight of mystery, scarcity, and unimaginable value. That coin is the South African 10 cents from 1972. At first glance, it looks unremarkable, a circular piece of nickel, modest in size, with simple design elements, nothing to hint at the storm of fascination among numismatists and treasure seekers. Yet its story begins not with grandeur, but with quiet production. In 1972, the South African Mint struck just over 10 million of these coins, placing it in the everyday circulation of the country. And.Veronum.com +2 last total +2 the minting figure, though not extremely low, becomes significant when you consider how many have survived in top condition, unscathed by wear, damage, or loss. To fully understand the allure, you need to peer closer at the details. The obverse bears the inscriptions in English and Afrikaans, South Africa SUID Afrika, above, the year, 1972, below. The motto, Ex Unitate Veres, frames the design. On the reverse, the denomination 10 followed by TS for 10 cents, flanked by a depiction of the aloe plant, a subtle, native motif. Last Dodo +2 and.Veronum.com +2 the edges are smooth, the art restrained, the piece modest. And yet, the very simplicity cloaks the secret's collector's prize. Over the decades, the coin's condition becomes the dividing line between the ordinary and the extraordinary. Many examples circulated, they show the patina of use, the nicks and scratches, the fading that time imposes. These go for modest sums, perhaps a few dollars in today's market. Coins.com +3, Coins.com +3 and .Pharaoh.com +3. But among the scattered survivors, there are mint state versions, coins that look as if they never left the mint, with full luster and crisp edges. These are exceedingly rare, and it is among these rare few that legends begin. Collecting communities whisper about varieties, minute errors or die flaws that can transform a run-of-the-mill piece into a phantom prize. Perhaps the digit to 1 is slightly off, or the 0 in 10 sits just beyond its normal boundary. Maybe the leaf of the aloe plant shows an extra spur, or a strike was off-center enough to leave an odd imprint. These variations are subtle, visible only under magnification, but they ignite frenzied interest when authenticated by experts. The coin's origin, minted in Centurion, South Africa, ties it to a time of socio-political change. The early 1970s in South Africa were intense years, with pressures both internal and external. Currency was not just an economic tool but a symbol of identity, sovereignty, and tensions. That means each coin carries not just intrinsic metal worth but layers of heritage. Enthusiasts who collect coins of political and historical resonance often prize pieces like this 10-cent specimen. Suppose you happen upon one of these coins in a drawer or an old box. What do? First, examine it under good light. Look for sharp edges, unblemished surfaces, and clear details, signs of minimal wear. Measure its weight, around 4 grams is standard. Check diameter and compare it with known standards. Those are preliminary tests to weed out fakes or heavily circulated examples. Then reach out to experts, numismatists who can grade the coin's condition and verify any anomalies. A certificate of grading can turn a hidden treasure into a world-recognized artifact. You might ask, has anyone ever sold one for millions? In real collector markets, often the highest values are for rare older gold or silver coins. A well-preserved nickel coin from 1972 is not usually in that league. Indeed, most evaluations of the 1972 10-cent coin place its regular high-grade value in the low hundreds of dollars at most. Coins.com +3 and .Pharaoh.com +3 and .Pharaoh.com +3. But every collector dreams of the one outlier, the coin so perfect, so rare, that it defies current valuations. In speculative circles, tales circulate of a once-in-a-generation specimen discovered in a forgotten hoard or sealed away in an estate, immaculate, uncirculated, with an error so exotic that it elevates it into myth. That is the version that commands legends, and to stoke imagination, some have claimed values far beyond ordinary rates, such as $6.3 million for the right coin, in perfect condition, authenticated beyond dispute. It is a statement meant less as market fact and more as challenge. Could this coin be that rare? Your viewers might scoff, or they might lean closer. That tension is what makes the story compelling. This is not just about metal and minting, it's about mystery, possibility, and the allure of the unknown. Imagine one day a collector finds a coin tucked in a bag of foreign change. It gleams under light. The aloe motif shines, the edges are untouched by dirt. They send it to a grading lab. The certificate comes back, gem mint state, with a striking anomaly. Suddenly that innocuous coin is a portal to legend. As you narrate this tale, emphasize the process, acquisition, examination, authentication, grading, offer, negotiation. The drama lies not only in numbers but in the journey. Viewers will feel the thrill when you describe a sealed envelope, red wax, upload of scans, overnight shipping to a specialist. The waiting. The reveal. The moment the number appears, and their breath catches, invite your audience to imagine what they would do. Would they hold it, show it to family, sell it in secret, or exhibit it for others to marvel? Remind them that treasures often begin as trash. That miracles sometimes hide in drawers. And that every collector, amateur or professional, carries a spark of hope that the next coin turned over, the next roll opened, contains something astonishing.